Hey, and welcome back to another video. It is your lifestylist K, your secure woman mentor. Today, I want to talk about mastering detachment. Because as we go through life and as we deal with things, narcissistic abuse, all these things, we have to learn a lot of new ways to cope and understand and become. And one of those ways is detaching. Um, and I wanted to dive into this just so that we could all have a perspective on what that looks like and how you should move going forward. If you've ever felt like you cared too much or chased too hard or suffered from over attachment, well, this video is for you because I want you to understand that your peace comes from within and not external validation. So let's dive in. And I'm found by the roadside, day in, day out. The most powerful person in the room is the one who is least attached to the outcome, to what happens. They're the most powerful person in the room. When you master detachment, nothing or no one can control you. And so, what is detachment? Why is it powerful? And what does that look like? So, one thing to understand is that detachment is not about not caring, it's about not being controlled. If you've ever been in situations or relationships where you felt like they were controlling you, controlling your outcome, controlling how you feel, controlling what you can do, is because you were attached to the value that they gave you by the control that they placed upon you. And so as you grow and learn that your attachment style is keeping you in these consistently horrible situations, you'll learn and master the art of detachment. And as you release attachment to certain outcomes, it means that you're no longer obsessing over people's approval for what you do or don't do. And if you ever notice, there are certain aspects of your life where you're like, oh, I wonder what they thought. I shouldn't have done this. So that overthinking, you release that. And it's not necessarily, it's not easy, especially when it's something that you've been doing for so long. It's not easy, but it's the awareness that you're doing it. So you have to tell yourself, when you realize that you are overthinking about a certain thing, you got to tell yourself, why the hell are you even overthinking this thing? Just let it be. It is what it is. You can't control it, so let it be. So detaching from the outcome is just letting things flow the way that they're going to flow. And remembering that whatever way it works, it's always going to work for the betterment of you. If you realize that everything works for your good, it's easy to detach the outcome of something, or it's easy to detach the fact that you don't have control over it. It's finding inner peace no matter what. That's basically all a detachment is. Things are going to happen and they're going to work the way that they are. You have to focus on the only thing that you can control, which is you. Now, why is detachment so powerful? Because as you follow through with your journey in the art of mastering detachment, you become unshakable. Rejection, setbacks, disappointments, those things no longer break you. You know how sometimes you are just used to being disappointed so much that that becomes your reality. You come to expect it. But I'm here to tell you, never expect a setback or disappointment, but understand that if it happens, it's okay. If it happens, there's something greater coming. So let go of the rejection. Let go of the disappointment. Let go of the rejection, because what you're doing is taking things personal. And although some people can make things personal, it's still never about you. It's about them. But when you are attached to a thing, you make it about yourself. Oh, they did that. What is it about me that they don't like? What is it about me? It's not about you. It's about them, their lack, their insecurities. But when you're attached to them, you take on that lack, you take on that insecurity. So detaching saves you from the turmoil of other people's insecurities. And just a reminder, what makes detachment so powerful is that now once you let go and you unattach or you detach, you are now attracting better because you don't operate from a place of lack of or desperation. That's what makes it so great. So if you are struggling with always being attached to something, try detaching from it and watch your life just grow and flourish. Detachment is not about shutting down, it's about shifting. It's about shifting your power inward. If you notice anything about my videos, it's all about the inner work. It's always about you becoming your best self. It's never about anything outside of you. And I think that's the part that we can overlook or misunderstand. This life's journey is about you. Detaching is about you knowing that you can only control you. And if something that you're doing isn't working, guess what? You can pivot. Life is about creating the space you need in order to maneuver through this maze of this game of life. The way that you decide to receive validation from people outside of yourself is causing you to find yourself being attached to the outcome of what people think of you. I'm going to tell you something. You have to like you. You have to love you. Because when you are attached to a person who doesn't love themselves, who doesn't value themselves, they're only going to give you what they have to give. And that's lack, that's insecurity. That's all of those negative things that come with a person who doesn't trust themselves or love themselves. So the fact that you have decided to attach yourself to someone who doesn't even love themselves and you're expecting them to validate you, it's a lose situation, a lose-lose situation. So really think about who you've decided to attach yourself to. And as hard as it might be, detach as soon as possible. You can't grow in a place where the soil is dead. And so many times we're trying to grow in places where there's no fertilization, where no one can fertilize it in order for it to grow. But you're trying to grow from that place and not realizing that this is no good. And sometimes you are realizing it, but you're so focused on, you're over focused on making it work that you're draining yourself, that you're losing yourself. And now all of who you are is wrapped into this thing that you're trying to control. Instead of realizing that the only thing that you control is yourself. This is what happens when we get into toxic relationships because we feel like we can change a person. You can't. The only person you can change is yourself. Yourself has to be the main character in your life. So detach from the outcome of what others think, what others are doing, and attach to what you can control, which is yourself. I know that it's easier said than done. The hardest thing that you don't want to do is the thing that you need to do. And when you do it, life becomes so much easier. I'm here to tell you that you're worth detaching from the outcome that you can't control and focusing on what you can control. Detachment is the secret for you to live a flourishing life. And I'll see you on the next video.